Okay, so another landlord story for you. Recently, we had a gentleman approach us, looking for a room. Really nice guy. Had a chat with him, met up with him, took the viewing. Seems great. He seems to like it, but there was just something off about it. They said, "Okay, I'll get back in touch." Okay, so then in about 10 minutes later, half an hour later, I had a few missed calls from an unknown number, and eventually it turns out it was a probation officer. And they had to call me and tell me that actually this gentleman who's interested in the room, and they're trying to help him, secure a room, a secure accommodation, but he has been convicted of manslaughter. I was like, geez. But anyway, I said, look, he's done his time, so as far as I'm concerned, he's paid his price, but and we'll do what he can. But was it malicious? Was the crime violent, and was it premeditated? And I'm assured it wasn't, because obviously you don't want that in a house share. So I was assured it wasn't. I said, okay, that's fair enough. If it wasn't premeditated and if it wasn't violent, then I'll do my best to help him. I'll talk to the landlord. So I talked to the landlord and said, look, we can accept him provisionally, subject to referencing. But actually, you know what? I'm going to Google his name and put his name to Facebook, and that's a tip. If you're unsure about somebody, Google their name and put their name to Facebook. Just due diligence, just something you have to do with any applicant, really. And it turns out that actually the individual has been convicted for manslaughter, for essentially battering his mum to death. It was a violent attack, honestly. And it turns out it was in all the newspapers, and it turns out he has mental health issues. Now, we can't put a person like that into a house share. They're living with other individuals. They have other personalities, other characters, and there's potential for a lot of conflict. So I offered the gentleman a flat to himself elsewhere, a self-contained flat, but unfortunately turned it down because he wanted to be nearer towards his support network and nearer towards his family, which is completely understandable. So we did try our best, but yeah, it just goes to show, really, isn't it? I mean, we should have really been told that. I should have been told, really, that that was a violent crime, and and obviously also that he has mental health issues, because that could have been really, really serious. But anyway, it's a shame we couldn't help him, but we did try.